What's going on, guys? Cultimush back at it with an $800 gaming PC build. Let's get right into this with the CPU of the build. I went with the Intel Core i5 4690K 3.5 GHz quad-core processor. The 4690K is a beast of a CPU. At 3.5 GHz, it's also a K-series processor, meaning if you have a decent CPU cooler, I recommend something cheap like the Hyper 212 if you want to get something, on the low price. Pick up a Hyper 212 and you can overclock this thing to around 4 GHz and then you have a beast of a CPU. Even at stock clocks it performs really well, but since it is a K-series, I would recommend picking up a Hyper 212 at least, and those are only like $20 and you can get a lot more performance out of this CPU. At $220 is a beast of a gaming CPU. Now keep in mind this is primarily for gaming. In things like video editing, live streaming, it does lag behind a little bit, but in gaming it's an absolute monster and a really good deal for $220. And like I said, pick up a Hyper 212 as well at the very least, and you can get a lot more performance out of this as well. For the motherboard, I went with the ASRock Z97 Pro 4 ATX LJ1150 motherboard. I wanted to get something cheap, but that was still a Z97 board, so you can definitely overclock on this. This doesn't have anything like SLI support, but it does have 4 RAM slots, so you have upgradability options there. And primarily, it's a Z97 board, which is what I wanted, and it's a motherboard from ASRock, which is one of the underrated motherboard manufacturers. They make a lot of great boards. And for $100, I thought this was just a win all around. Very cheap motherboard, but it has a lot of features, and it's the Z97 board we were looking for. For memory, I went with G.Skill Aries Series 8GB, 2 4GB sticks running at DDR3 1600 MHz. Solid RAM here, it's 8 gigs and it's 2 4GB sticks, and like I said, the motherboard has 4 RAM slots, so in the future you can go for a 16GB configuration or a 12GB configuration, but for now, just pick up 8GB, that should get the job done for now. 12-16 months down the line you can upgrade if you want, but 8GB for $50 seem like a no-brainer. For storage, I went with the Western Digital Caviar Blue 1TB 3.5-inch 7200 RPM internal hard drive. $50 for this hard drive. Didn't go with an SSD, just thought, hey, let's get a terabyte, let's put the money we could have put in the SSD into the graphics card, which at the end of the day is the crux of a gaming build. This terabyte, it's a decent amount of storage, but like I've been saying in the past, if you do want to go for a 2 or 3 terabyte drive, if you got the cash laying around, definitely go with that because game file sizes these days are getting really big. Witcher 3 was like 30 gigabytes, games like Titanfall, even the Call of Duty games get really big these days, and if you download mods, then it's another hoopla, and all these games having DLC as well, so a terabyte for a lot of people isn't enough, but for most people, I think you can find a way to manage with 1 terabyte of storage space. For the video card, I went with the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 970 4GB WINDFORCE video card. This is around $320 right now, and this is a beast of a GPU. If you're gaming at 1080p, pretty much every game, 60 FPS ultra settings, there are some games like Witcher 3 where you are going to have to tone the settings down a little bit, but for the most part, you're going to be playing all the new releases at near max settings, 60 frames per second at 1080p, or you can even crank it up to 1440p if you want. And right now, a great part about buying the GTX 970 is you get a free copy of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and a free copy of Batman Arkham Knight. 2 games that I know the gaming world is buzzing about, and 2 games pretty much all PC gamers are going to pick up, and you're getting it absolutely free if you pick up the GTX 970, so that's like $100 worth of value. You're getting it absolutely free with the 970. Just a great deal. For $320, you're getting a beast of a GPU and 2 excellent games. For the power supply, I went with the EVGA 600W 80+ bronze certified power supply. No reason to get anything higher since the motherboard we went with can't go for an SLI configuration anyway. And this build at max TDP is only going to use like 400 watts at max, so this 600 watts is going to give you some leverage as well. And it's a solid power supply from EVGA. And EVGA has becoming one of those big power supply manufacturers. I've been seeing a lot of people pick up EVGA power supply, so definitely this one's a good one for $45. And it's 600 watts, 80+ bronze certified, and it's not going to break the bank. Great power supply from EVGA. Finally, for the case, I went with the Corsair SPEC-01 red black ATX mid-tower case. This is a pretty solid case. It's a little bit cheaper at $45. You can actually get it for around $35 if you decide to use the mail-in rebate as well. But for a case being this cheap, I think it looks pretty sleek. It's got that side window everybody loves, and I think it's a decent case from Corsair. It's not going to break the bank, like I said, and really what I wanted to get out of the case, since we did spend a lot of money in the GPU and the CPU, was something that was just going to get the job done and nothing more. And this case is pretty solid from Corsair. Like I said, I've been recommending Corsair cases for a long time, so you guys know what's up. The SPEC-01 is pretty solid. So thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, obviously dislike it. Comment down below with your requests for future videos. I try to read every comment. I can't obviously reply to all of them, but I try to read them all. So thanks for watching as always. Have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.